Hello and welcome to the Sharp Side of Paranormal. I am your host, Cody, broadcasting live from the Sharp Side of Paranormal Studios in Fort Wayne, Indiana, part of the Parapost Network Central. I am so excited to actually be part of their network. This is the actual second episode where I have been, broadcasting live right to the Parapost Facebook. So it's very exciting, very fun stuff. Check out some of the other shows that you see on there. And apparently I am having issues with my Facebook as usual. Thank you, Facebook. It seems like it's almost every episode I get like a red check on my Facebook when I try to stream there. So I literally have to remove it. And then I have to, as I'm talking right now, I have to add it back on. And hopefully yep, there it goes. It added it back on, but excuse me, I don't know how I keep having issues, but I don't know. I think it's a Facebook thing. I don't know. It could be StreamYard, could be Facebook. Been an interesting week this week. I didn't have a show last week. I was actually doing a residential case at my parents' house, which we got some quite a good evidence. My wife was not very happy. I ended up setting up a few cat balls in the bedroom that we were sleeping in, and they kept going off all night long. So, yeah, it was quite interesting. So, next week, my first ever vendor event. We're going to be at the Windermere down in Middletown, Ohio. I am excited. There's going to be quite a few of us down there. I'm also speaking my first ever giving my TED Talk. I'll give you the topic. It's about having the right equipment in the paranormal, but I'm not talking about the stuff that you bring in, the stuff that you see here on the table. That's not what I'm talking about. I am actually talking about something else. If you want to know what it is, you're going to have to attend. Also, if you stop and see me and end up buying stuff next week at the Windermere, anybody that comes and buys anything that I have with me or places an order with me in person, you get this cute little ghost drinking a cup of coffee keychain. I found it online. I wrote down the name of who created it, and I lost the piece of paper, and I was in a scramble before the show. But yeah, so I found this online. They designed it. It's if you're the designer, you did a really good job. Next week's episode, I will have the name of who designed this, but it's cute. It's absolutely adorable. I love it. I have one. I just gave my wife one. You can have one yourself. Yeah. So also right now, between now and next week, if you place an order of $75 or more and use the code Windermere, you get 10% off your purchase. So there's that. Next week, I will have Mystical Moon Paranormal, and we will actually be doing the show live from the gathering at the Windermere. So you can actually see me do the show live with Amy and Jezime. So yeah, enough of my rambling. I am going to bring on my guest, Thomas. He is a paranormal investigator, and I'm going to let him give his background. So here we go. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations on your first event there and your first TED Talk and everything. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you should be. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's also my first Paracon that I've actually ever really been to.
Oh, really? Awesome. Wow. First of everything. That's great.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared, but it's all part of the it's all part of being in the paranormal community?
No, you're gonna do great. I know you are. You're gonna do fine. You're gonna be hooked on it too. So,
So tell me about yourself, like where you're from, how you got in the paranormal.
oh, I'm from New Hampshire. Been living here since I was 6 years old, and I was from Massachusetts before that, so a New Englander all my life. By starting the paranormal, I always say I wish I had a awesome paranormal origin story, like these people saying, "Oh, I grew up in a haunted house," or "I saw this when I was little," and I'm like, "Ah, shucks." I got hooked from Unsolved Mysteries when I was a kid. The old Robert Stack. I believe one of the premiere episode had the Queen Mary on it, and everything that had to do with paranormal, from Bigfoot, the Lizard Man down in Florida, families being terrorized by spirits in their house and having to leave and everything. That really sparked my interest in it, and I really loved that genre of movies growing up. And then early 2000s, flipping through some channels, and I saw a couple Roto-Rooter guys moonlighting as paranormal investigators, and I was like, wow, this is an actual thing with equipment behind it, and people bringing scientific knowledge to it to try to prove yes or no. And I've been hooked since. So, yeah, I started my journey early to mid 2000s and been going since.
You know, I started watching the paranormal shows back in the early 2000s too, and there was only like one or two.
Yeah,
There was Ghost Adventure. Well, actually, there's three. So there was Ghost Hunters, there was Paranormal State,
yeah,
and then Ghost Adventures. And now it seems like there's hundreds, like on all these different networks, on streaming services, YouTube, and I've said, the paranormal has become less taboo in mainstream
absolutely,
culture,
absolutely. I
which
I 100% agree.
which it has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages, because then you get a lot of idiots in the paranormal community.
Yes, that term weekend warrior and somebody just hopping in, everything's a demon everywhere. And yes, there's a lot of that too. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still a weekend warrior. I have a full
Oh,
time job and I do this, part time,
yeah, I
So,
got a
like,
full-time job and yeah, as well. And yeah, the weekend warrior thing, I never was a fan of that term because I never seen a baby born with a K2 meter and a digital recorder in their hand. And I think everybody started on the weekend, just, going out and testing things out. So
what would be your favorite piece of equipment?
myself.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think if you go in and your own eyes, your own feelings, your own energy into a place is your best piece of equipment. I definitely was somebody that I got into like the keeping up with the Joneses, buying SLS and the Ovilus and this and that, and then realizing like less is more over time. And I would, bring all these equipment cases with all this stuff and hardly even touch everything, and just, again, using a couple simple things, a K2, a REM pod, digital recorder, a camera, and then, that's basically it. But I'm not knocking any piece of equipment. If you catch something on it, hooray. I hope to see that kind of evidence on there. But yeah, I'm starting to find out that less is more for me.
And it's all about personal preference. Like, I it's kind of ironic. I manufacture paranormal equipment, but I
Yes.
also think sometimes less can be more, but also more can be less. You know,
Yep.
because like sometimes it's nice to have that piece of equipment there, like a REM pod or a K2 or an EMF reader, or, a music box, some kind of device that can, you know, corroborate what you're feeling.
Yes. And then
Uh,
I always have another piece of device to try to back up the first device. So if I got a K2 going off and a REM pod and I'm feeling something, then a little bit more substantial.
Sometimes it's all about the sometimes sometimes it's all about the shirt you wear for a podcast.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I'm a Hinsdale House store ambassador for Mr. Kleiss.
I haven't been anywhere up northeast yet.
Yeah.
Probably next year is when I'll do it. I've so far right now it's been pretty much for me. It's Indiana and one place in Ohio, but this year is gonna be Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois,
Nice.
Michigan. Yeah, so I'm kind of branching out.
Yeah, no, Hinsdale House, if you have the chance, you got to get there. I've been a few times myself, and then right around the corner from the Hinsdale, you got the Wildwood Sanatorium, and that's another beautiful place. And yeah, if you ever get a chance, I'd highly recommend. I mean, it's an 8-hour drive for me, and I do it a few times every year.
I want to go to Wildwood. I'm actually friends with Brooke, the new
yes.
Yeah, the new owners. They've owned it for what, a couple of years now?
Yes. Brooke and Zach, they do an excellent job taking you through and giving you a great tour. They know the ins and out of that place. Great wealth of knowledge. And yeah, I love going there. It's great. I got May 25th. I'm going back there. So for an overnight, and I can't wait.
I was supposed to be going to the Hinsdale House this year, but that fell through. A couple of my friends are getting married. They were going to actually get married at the Hinsdale House, but then like
nice.
The wedding like got too many people, so it was going to be too overwhelming, and then they had to change some dates, and it's the weekend of my son's birthday. So, so you know what? I will make it out there one day.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's just, yeah, it'll still be there, and it's definitely worth the experience. I love it up there.
Well, I hope not, because we do lose locations, and it's sad. Sometimes because new owners or they tear it down. Like, I mean, look at Crescent. We just recently lost Crescent Sanatorium and Prison. It was taken over by the Military History Preservation Group, and it really does not seem like they have any intention of bringing the paranormal back.
Yeah, it's sad. It's a piece of history, and every time I go to a location, it's more of a history lesson for me. If I catch any activity, that's a big bonus. But you're walking through a piece of history, and you're getting a lesson. You're immersing yourself in that time period and into the stories and stuff. And you're with like-minded people, so it's usually a good time. But when stuff like that gets closed down, it's sad, and they close it off for the paranormal or turn it into something else. But say, Levy, that's what it is. It is what it is. What I say.
It happens, but that's why I do the paranormal. Like, I love the history.
Yep.
I love going in, communicating with the spirits, listening to their stories, finding out what happened. And, some people just go in, oh, I want to get scared by a ghost. And,
they don't work on your schedule. So
are there drifters out there that are on TikTok? Oh, well, if you donate this many things to me, I will, do a solo here. And then they cry demon. Like, every place they go to is the most haunted place. And it's got demon. I'm not going to say their name, but I call them the demon fakers, because they literally, every single location they go to, oh, we had a demon and I was partially possessed. And I'm like, you're possessed, all right, but it ain't by a demon.
Yeah, greed.
Yeah, it's greed, and it's stupidity, and trying to chase that. Oh, we're trying to grift on people.
It's a shame. Like, I know exactly what you mean. Like, oh, we're here at Grandma Betty's bed and breakfast, also known as Satan's taint. She lured her victims in with cookies, and it's like, what? No, come on.
Yeah, it's like right now there's a demon that's causing this.
Yeah.
I think the demon's name is Carrier.
Yeah.
Because it's my furnace.
Yeah.
No, but like they'll have somebody, make a thud somewhere. Oh, what was that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's the market's kind of saturated, and unfortunately, you have to be, your own judge and jury on what you like and what's you believe is real and fake. I mean, it's there's a lot of content out there. Hopefully, you find what you like, you stick with it, and then if that's the stuff you like, there's plenty of that out there. There's plenty of clickbait, scare, demon jump scare stuff out there. So
I mean, like so these people that I won't say their name because I'm going to be doing a video on the frauds in the paranormal community, but I have been to multiple locations that they've been to, and no place that I have been to has had a demon. And they have been to like 3 or 4 locations that I've been to, and it's like, listen, okay, so first off, we're going to have a little education lesson for some people out there.
excellent. Bring it on.
Because while there is kind of not a set in stone definition of a demon, but a demon is actually an evil entity that is not of human origin. That seems to be the general consensus, okay?
Yep.
So there is a difference between an evil entity that was at one point a human who has now passed on, and a demon, which is an evil entity that is from hell or another dimension or whatever you believe, but it is not of human origin. That's the crux, and that's where people seem to, I guess, lose focus and be like, oh no, there's something got slammed here. There's something evil here. It's a demon.
Yeah. I along with you, I've never come across an actual demon. I don't think I'll ever plan on doing that. I think the chances of probably hitting the lottery is probably greater, and yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I agree. There's negative spirits out there that can be aggressive, and they might scratch just to try to get your attention, but that doesn't mean you know demon every time. You're right. So
I mean, I'm married to a demon. I say that every time, and she's gonna murder me. It's okay. And then I'll be a pissed off spirit, but then I'll be the demon.
You go. Just want to know you haunt her. That's all.
Yes. See, I can't. You know what? I can't wait till I mean, obviously, I want to live a very long life, but I can't wait because I'm gonna be that asshole spirit that moves shit and just messes with people on purpose.
Yeah, like every time they put their keys in the same spot, and then the next morning they're not there, and takes them 3 days, and then boom, they're right there in their face again.
I'll move it, and then they're like, "Oh, where does it go?" So they go elsewhere, and then I'll put it back where they originally were, just to mess with them. And then they think they're messing, they're losing their minds.
The TV remote, yeah, it's not in the couch cushion. Nope.
Yeah, it's down on the couch cushion.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your change. You're gonna be late to work for the 4th time this week. So what has been your craziest experience?
It's been aboard the USS Salem, and that's in Massachusetts. It's an old battleship. Went there for an investigation with my good buddy James Anito and a group, and just seeing a shadow person cut across the hallway, and him turn to me and go, "Did you see that?" Yup. And us both go running after it. Couldn't catch up to it. Then we looked down to where we came from, and there it was again. and he started walking towards it, and it came towards us, and we ran the other way. But that was probably my craziest chilling experience, and it was definitely my first shadow person that I saw. And yeah, definitely aboard the USS Salem.
Yeah. Now, once you get your first couple of shadow figures, after that, it's just like, okay, cool. I've seen a shadow figure. You're not really that special, you know?
Yeah. I couldn't prepare myself enough to see my first. And then when like I said, I actually did, I was kind of shocked. We stood there real quick in silence and said, let's go. Headed forward. And then when it came towards us, we went the other way. But
my first ever shadow figure and my first ever like apparition that I've seen were both on my first ever paranormal investigation.
Wow.
So I went to the Indiana State Sanatorium.
Okay.
In Rockville, Indiana. I love that place so much. And I was there with Ghost Hunts USA, did one of those big, public events. And my wife loves the story because she still laughs at it. So we're in the nursing home section.
Okay.
And they split us up. They put people in the doorways of these rooms, but they put me into the nurses station. And there's this linen closet, like medicine closet type thing, office right there that's attached to the nurses station. And I'm standing in there, and this door opens, and this like white nurse figure comes out and just walks right, or just goes right past me, and I scream like a little girl, so loud. Have you ever seen the movie Accepted, where they start that fake college?
Yes.
So when they
like Jonah Hill, right? Jonah Hill, like
Jonah Hill screams like a yeah. That was me. You could hear my wife down the hall laughing her ass off at me screaming. So they moved me out into this hallway, intersection of these 4 hallways, and 6 people in these tour guides witnessed this apparition come out of the nurse's station, come up to me, put its hand on my shoulder, and disappear. First ever paranormal investigation.
Yeah, that's very rare to have that, like, right off the bat, very first one. And yeah, you must have been hooked. That must have really just.
And here I am.
Yeah, here you are.
almost 2 years later, and
that's
now
amazing,
have a podcast, make equipment, and being asked to speak at places.
Yes, that's awesome. I'm happy for you.
They must be amazing. like towards the bottom of the list. Let's see, Cody Sharp. Yeah. Cody, are you available?
Let's get him in here.
Yeah, Z-list celebrity here. I'm not a celebrity. I love it. I got called a para-celebrity once. Yes. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not a celebrity. Like, I'm just a normal person. Like,
no, you're getting there. You're getting there. Para-celebs, they're real. They're real.
I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't want to be I don't want to be famous. I just want to make a difference in the paranormal community. I want to, I just want to inspire people to do good things and do it the right way.
No, I get you.
Not that there is a right way, but like, I think we all lose focus on what the paranormal actually is. It's a science.
Yeah,
and we're supposed to be researchers, and there's a difference between ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. There's a difference. Ghost hunters are like tornado chasers. They're just in it for the thrill. And then you got the meteorologist, that's the paranormal investigator, that's actually doing the science and the research. and trying to figure it out. And sometimes you could be both.
Oh, I agree. Yes. Yeah.
I certainly have gone into locations like, yeah, I'm looking for a spirit and I'm looking to get the shit scared out of me. and then on the flip side, I'm there trying to find out what happens when we die.
Yeah, that's, I think that's should be the question of what we're trying to, what's life after death.
Do you have any theories of what happens?
I'm not religious, so I think that's part of it. Some of my drive in this field is trying to figure that out. Again, am I going to see big, bright white light and have my deceased family members waiting for me on the other side, welcome me up? Or hopefully I'm not going down, but yeah, it's hard for me to say what I think is going to happen. That's why I like doing this and trying to get answers. Like, do we stay here do we stay on this earth in some kind of form? Or, do we have a choice to stay if something traumatic happened or we missed our loved ones? Do we have a choice to come visit? Or is it just up or down and that's it? Or a purgatory?
Yeah, and it's amazing to see all the other religions and like cultural beliefs, Yeah. Personally, this is just a theory. This can't be, I mean, this could be right, this could be wrong, but I feel like our soul gets split up into multiple parts.
Okay.
Now, I am religious. I was raised in a Lutheran church. I do believe in heaven and hell, but I do believe, a part of our soul, goes to wherever, heaven or hell. But I also think we leave little pieces on earth of where significant parts of our lives were. It could be, where you died. It could be where your loved ones are at. It could be a location that means a lot to you. It could be at an item that, means a lot to you.
Yeah.
But then again, it's just a theory. And people are like, well, there's no such thing as ghosts. Well, no, the evidence is out there. There's clear evidence of the paranormal. Because here's the thing, energy cannot be created or destroyed. Correct. So when we die, what happens to our energy? It's no longer in our bodies, but the energy is still there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly what happens to it.
That's just a theory. That's my working theory. And am I right? Probably not. Am I wrong? Probably not. I don't know. That's why I do what I do.
Who's to say you're wrong or right? Because
I mean, I'll find out when I'm dead.
Yep, as we all will. Yep.
Haha, I have validated my research.
Let me tell somebody. Oh, wait.
It's going to be like Frequency,
Yeah.
I'm going to get the ham radio. I'm going to get a ham radio and then, start talking in time, to like my son and stuff. That's a good movie.
There we go. Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. It's a good movie.
What was the name of it again?
Frequency. It's got Dennis Quaid and what's it? Jim Caviezel, the guy that played Jesus.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I was probably a teenager the last time I saw it.
Good movie. It's a very, very good movie. No, it's just, there's so many theories in the paranormal community. And yes, going back to, it's not being as taboo. It used to be a pseudoscience.
Correct. Yeah.
But now we're in the golden age of the paranormal. We really are, because we've got the technology now. We've got new tools coming out every single day. Mm-hmm. We've got, more locations, more ways of validating our research. I honestly think that, again, it's the golden age. We're in the golden age of the paranormal.
And there's more boots on the ground to try to get evidence.
Hi, Leah. Got
Hi,
tired
Leah.
of watching Bree? So Leah is actually, she's been on my show a couple of times. She's a psychic.
Oh, nice.
Or a medium. Not that there's a difference. Anyway, she's not on yet. Okay, she's not on yet. She actually died twice, and they had to shock her twice.
Oh, wow.
You talk to dead people. I know you talk to me all the time. I'm dead on the inside. The problem is the new tools and technology are not understood by most of the users. That's true. Some people get a device. Oh, this is going off. Okay, well, I got it right here. The K2. Oh, look at the lights it's lighting up. Must be a spirit.
Oh, they have their cell phone right next to it as they're filming. Like, look at it. Look at this.
So here's the thing. So last year I did a photo shoot at it was an Unsolved Mysteries location.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the episode. It was in it's a demon. Thank you, L&M Paranormal. It's a demon. So I was Coldwater, Michigan, 1990. This man murdered his wife and dumped her body at a schoolhouse in rural Branch County, Michigan. And I actually did a photo shoot at that school. So my little picture in the corner, that was actually at that location. But like, I'm taking the photo, and my photographer friend, she was like, because the EMF reader wasn't going off. I was like, hold on a second. So I literally took the EMF reader and I did it. You can't see it in the photo that well, but I had my cell phone right underneath no, it was my smartwatch. I had my smartwatch underneath the EMF reader just to get it to go off. No, that's not me faking evidence, because it was like a photo shoot, and we wanted to, show that the EMF reader or the K2 was going off. But there are people that do that.
Yeah.
You know how easy it is to pull off this cover and hide something that emits EMF inside these?
Oh yeah,
it's super easy. There is so much space in these things to hide something that emits EMF, and it's like, okay, how do I know that your reading's real or not? So my nice little Ghost Bros,
your holder, yep, K2 holder,
my nice little holder, and that's why I went and designed, the schematics are online, and I've used it, but it's all about having equipment and knowing how to use it. I've got an analog EMF, which will tell you on a scale of 0 to 1,000 what the level of the EMF is, and you can use it in conjunction to your K2 and other devices. It's about, you can't just say, oh, I have one piece of equipment, it's going off. What can manipulate or produce EMF? I have been looking for years. That is a good question. Serious question. All right. Serious question. Where did the idea come from that ghosts or spirits can manipulate or produce EMF? I have been looking for years and cannot find a signal reasonable hypothesis. So I actually gave a hypothesis earlier. I don't know if you were watching when I did it, but that is a really good question. And honestly, I don't know. But my hypothesis is when we die, what happens to our energy? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. We die, our energy doesn't get destroyed. It doesn't. It's out there. Like obviously, if something, if a spirit or an entity can move objects or communicate with us on an EVP or whatnot, there's energy involved. Yeah. So, and whenever there's energy involved, you're going to have an electromagnetic field. We as humans, we put off EMF. Is it a lot? No. But we do. So that's just my hypothesis. Is it backed up by evidence? That's what I'm trying to determine. But that is, Dover Paratech, that is a really good question. And I see you, Brandon. Hi, Brandon. Do you have a theory on that, Thomas?
No, I mean, mine's along the same lines as you. If we're energy and our body dies, the energy disperses. It doesn't, doesn't disappear, doesn't go anywhere. It can't be destroyed. So if you're talking about a spirit or ghost moving something like you said, or putting on an EVP or making a bang, it takes energy to do that. So that's why the EMF meter would go off or a REM pod would go off in that area. So that's my, again, I might not be right. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's what I believe.
Exactly. Who knows? I'm probably wrong, and I'm probably not communicating with spirits. I'm probably just communicating with some guy with a walkie-talkie that's outside. I don't know. That's why we're in the that's why most of us are in the field. We want to know this answer, but here's the thing. I have been physically drained of my energy during paranormal investigations.
Yes. Yep. It happens.
That is a good question. My best guess is that someone captured an EVP in the same time documented a spike in EMF, and it's now a correlation. And here's the thing. Just because it correlates doesn't mean it's actually... correlation does not equal causation, or causation does not equal correlation. Am I saying that right? I don't know. But that's probably what happened. That is a very good guess. Because I was on the What the Fuck podcast with it's the military veterans What the Fuck podcast, and they're like, how do you know spirits cause EMF? And I'm like, I don't. That's what I'm trying to figure out. If it's listen, Dover Paratech, that is a huge point, and that is a great point, and it's very infuriating. Is that yeah or interesting? Sorry, I read that wrong.
Both infuriating and interesting.
It is infuriating, and it is interesting. It's a very good point that you bring up. It is an absolutely good point. Sorry, I switched my monitors around. And
I heard that. I've been seeing that a lot lately. People will go give a thumbs up, and they pop up. The bubbles pop up, and
yeah, no, I like the thumbs. No, I moved my monitor, and I changed my setup this week, and I was supposed to set up a second monitor that was right over here where I can read this better, but I forgot to plug it in before the show. So I'm reading a monitor that's maybe 9 feet away from me.
There you go.
So, and I got my camera right here, and I got you on this monitor, and then little small print right here. So I'm trying to read it, and it's my fault. I'm trying to rearrange things to make things interesting. It didn't work. I think our energy hangs around for a while. I think that's why you, as an investigator, can feel the shift in energy change in an environment. Exactly. But here's the thing: we don't know. Dover Paratech brought up a very good point. We don't know. But that's why I take the tools that I take in.
Yeah.
Because if I have a K2 go off and I have my EMF meter, I go in there, it'll give me a baseline. Let me know, hey, the levels at this, this baseline. Because with a K2, you got 5 lights. You kind of, as you can see, it's going up, and, you can't really get a good base. So I use the analog meter to tell me, hey, it's got to turn on. It boots up. So right now it's spiking it's going anywhere from 76 up to 120. So somewhere in there is, where the base is. And then when stuff happens, it'll get louder and make noises.
There you go.
And
that's a nice little piece of equipment.
I know. I love it. But no, it's all about using multiple devices and multiple. I know you said less is more, and I somewhat agree, but you'll also have a way. K2 can detect magnetic, electric, and radio EMF. Which one is being detected? Actually, it detects any EMF. It's analog EMF. I don't believe it's magnetic, unfortunately. But it's just using an analog input on a microprocessor board to detect any EMF. And it's fairly accurate, which is good. And I tested it for a while before I actually started selling it. But correlation is very important. And I agree. You can't say, oh, my cat ball's going off. It's a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we know it's a ghost? How do I know it's not defective, or someone set it off? I mean, I was coughing at a location once and it set off a cat ball. Don't you hate that though? Like when you're sick and you're doing a paranormal investigation and you just feel miserable.
Oh yeah. You're going to be there for a while. Oh, here we go. No whisper. Yeah, don't whisper. We're doing an EVP session here.
Hairball.
Right, me.
Hairball. So what? Okay, so what are your top 3 locations, bucket list locations that you've never been to that you want to go to?
I never been to and I want to go to. Definitely Waverly Hills. Queen Mary is one of them, and St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Now, where is St. Augustine Lighthouse? Is that
Florida?
That's what I thought. It was down in Florida. The Conjuring House.
I've been there, so I couldn't.
How was it? Is it worth it?
I don't want to knock the new owners and the prices that they charge for an overnight there. When I went, I did have a good time. I'll just say that for me, it was worth it.
Okay. Well, then I'm going.
Yeah, for me, it was worth it. So
Leah's like St. Augustine Lighthouse is awesome.
It looks it.
That'd be cool. I would like. Do they allow you to stay the night there?
I'm not sure if they do overnights. I know they were doing paranormal tours and like guided investigations. So like they would have a pair of celeb come in and you go out there and do a investigation with them. But I'm not sure if you can like rent it out for the night and with a group of with your group or friends or something like that.
I would. You know what? I would totally stay the night.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah.
recreate the scene from what is that movie? Oh, Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls.
Which scene?
Well, the lighthouse scene.
Okay.
Dude, that movie creeped me out as a kid.
Oh man. Oh, I wanted to tell when you were talking about the screaming when you screamed. I'm usually really good, but last year I was at Wilson Castle, and my group gathered. Said, "All right, we're all going to go up to the third floor." I said, "All right, let me use the restroom before we go." And I was on the first floor. Everybody went up. I came out of the restroom, and nobody told me there was bats. And the second I opened that door, that bat buzzed my head, and I screamed like a little schoolgirl. And I have yet to live that down. Everybody that was there reminds me of that all the time. But yeah, it was embarrassing.
It. Listen, I've screamed pretty much on every paranormal investigation I've been on, and I'm at this point I'm not ashamed of it. All of St. Augustine is rich with hauntings. It's just a cool place to be in tour too. Well, first off, Florida is heaven's waiting room. So where are you guys based out of? So Thomas is out of New Hampshire, and I am out of Indiana. Thomas is just my guest today, which I'm excited. So is it just you on a paranormal team, or do you have a group? Or
I have some friends that we go out to do overnights and go places. I would. It's not like we have a website that people can go to and say, "Hey, can you come to my house? I have an issue." I would like to be more active in that area, but yeah, I just I get invited to paracons and public events and stuff like that, and I go and help out and investigate, and yeah, so an actual team to say no. Again, group of friends that get together and go out, yeah.
I am in Dover, PA, about a half hour west of Gettysburg. Hey. So I'm not going to talk about it in detail, but there might be a new paranormal investigation that might be coming on the market here sometime this year to do paranormal investigations near Gettysburg. So I can't go into further detail than that, but I'm excited. I'll be and then there's Brandon. I'll be in Gettysburg next weekend. Yes. So I'm part of Sharp Side of Paranormal. I'm the founder, but I am also part of Above and Below Paranormal. And Brandon is actually the founder. He's the leader, and he's the one of the co-founders of the group. But we're gonna possibly be in charge of a location.
There you go.
I can't go into further details than that right now. Once Brandon gives me the thumbs up, I'm going to scream it. I am the only founder, sir. Okay. Well, I thought Doug was a co-founder. I'm sorry. Calm down, ma'am. So once Brandon gives me the thumbs up, I'll be screaming it from the rooftops.
But there's a couple good events happening at Gettysburg coming up. We got the Christmas in July bash here, Gettysburg bash.
Oh, don't tell my wife the Christmas in July.
And then I think Warren Seekers of the Paracon is going to be at Gettysburg this year in September, end of September.
So are you going to any Paracons this year?
Yes, there's Mass Paracon that Sam I'll butcher his last name, but Sam Petrusis runs. That's always good. I went to Hanover Paracon in January. A couple months ago, I did that, and yeah, I might be going to Warren's just because it's at Gettysburg this year. So
We got a bunch of great EVPs at Gettysburg and meeting next weekend. As for that, Cody, I'll also be at the bash. There you go.
yeah.
I might be going to Pennhurst Paracon this year. I might.
Yeah.
I haven't bought a ticket yet. It all depends on if I can get off of work. But I'm going to be at the Paranormal Gathering at Windermere. I'm going to be at ISS Con at the Indiana State Sanatorium, and I'm going to be at Fairfield Con at the Fairfield Infirmary this summer as well.
Yes, I really like them. I mean, the small ones I like a little bit better because you get better interaction with the vendors and the speakers and stuff like that. It's a great way to meet like-minded people and get out there, connect and stuff like that. I enjoy them.
I'm excited for my first con. I really am. Yeah, it's. Oh, and I'm also doing Para-Unity in Peru, Indiana.
Nice.
So that's another one. And that's big. Like you get out there, you meet people, like anything, you're going to meet people that you don't like. And there are a bunch of people I don't like in the paranormal community. And there are a bunch of people in the paranormal community that don't like
Unity. Come on.
Para-Unity, but people don't like me. And that's fine. I can't please everybody.
Nope. Cannot.
And that's why I'm divorced. Anyway,
I just celebrated my 20-year wedding anniversary, so hopefully I'll.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
I will get there with my wife.
There you go.
If she doesn't murder me, which chances are she will. I told her, like, if you murder me and it ends up on an episode of Snapped, please make it interesting. I don't want some white girl to be like, this is boring. I'm going to change it.
Make sure they get a really good-looking actor to portray you, right?
What was that?
Make sure they get a really good-looking actor to portray you.
I want Brad Pitt to be.
Don't we all?
Who? You know what? No, we could have Josh Gad be mine. But you know what's funny is people say I look like Kevin James.
You do a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that is kind of accurate. Yep.
Funny story. So, about 11 years ago, I was in Montreal, Canada. I'm up there for work. I'm at this hotel, and these people come up to me, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're Kevin James," and I'm like, "Oh my God, no, I'm not." and they kept hounding me, like, "You're Kevin James," and I'm like, "No, I'm really not." I'm not Paul Blart the Mall Cop. Stop bothering me. And they're like, "Can we get your autograph?" I'm like, "I'm not Kevin James." And they kept bothering me. So I finally signed it, but I did not sign it Kevin James. I signed it Cody Sharp. So there are two people in Montreal, Canada, if that's where they're from, that have an autograph. And my autograph is a scribble. They're like, "Oh my God, we got Kevin James's autograph." No, it's mine. Surprise, motherfucker. It is my autograph.
Now, were you on a Segway? Did that kind of heighten their experience?
I've only been on a Segway once, and that was before I was fat. So I was 16 years old. I was at Gen Con, a gaming convention in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I was a volunteer because like you get your ticket money back if you volunteer.
Yep.
And I'm like, I want free money, and you get to like to do some cool stuff as a volunteer. And they put me at the Segway challenge. And you pay money and you could do like this obstacle course on Segways, but like there was some time they were like, hey, go around the convention on the Segway and hand out these flyers. So I'm doing it, and Steve from Ghost Hunters was there from Taps.
There you go. Yes, Steve's awesome.
Absolutely awesome guy. He gave me his autograph. He like gave me a copy of the Taps magazine, signed it, gave it to me, and I was like, how much do I owe you? And he's like, no, it's free.
Wow. Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's like, but you got to let me on the Segway for free. So he didn't ride the Segway. Yes, me on a Segway would result in my ass spraying the concrete.
Yeah, some bad road rash.
Man, I surprisingly I did not fall. But now that I'm like big like I am, I would probably kill myself. Hi, I'm Cody. Welcome to Jackass. We're gonna take the Segway down a flight of stairs.
And this is the Segway challenge.
This is the Segway challenge. Now I kind of want to get a Segway and do that.
Don't they have them at Gettysburg to get around? For people
I don't know. I've never been to Gettysburg.
Brandon,
Brandon or Dover, do they have Segways at Gettysburg to get around? Somebody please let me know, because I want to get a Segway.
My in-laws went there a few years ago, and I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of them on a Segway going around Gettysburg.
That would be hilarious. We're gonna not that I have seen, but maybe we're gonna do a Segway paranormal tour. It'd be kind of funny. I know my ex-wife, it's not a Segway, but she went to the Savannah, Georgia ghost tour last week. She did like a ghost tour, and she's like, it was depressing. It was about all these people dying and like all these horrific events, but it really didn't, like, there weren't really ghosts. Like I'm like,
it's just sad stories.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of sad. So you're telling me you paid to listen to a bunch of sad stories? Listen, lady, you could pay me $20. I'll tell you some sad stories. Yeah. I mean, granted, you were married.
Come to my dinner and hear about my day. So
yeah, like you were married to me. That's a sad story. You know, that was certainly not free. No, I don't know. Sometimes like we were down in Gatlinburg because my parents live just outside of Gatlinburg, so we were down there last weekend, and I saw this ad for Gatlinburg ghost tours, and it was like $50 a person, and they're like, yeah, it's an hour long. You don't actually get to go into any of the locations. You just get to sit there and watch, listen to the stories, and it's only an hour long. And I'm like, that's really not a ghost tour. That's more of a, I'm just charging you $50 and you can't bring any paranormal equipment and have any fun. Like I would have better luck of catching a ghost at a casino and have a better chance of winning money. I don't know.
I want to get down to Gatlinburg. We're thinking of that.
It's quite beautiful.
Possible vacation spot this year. So
we were gonna do. There's a ghost town just outside of Gatlinburg. It's an abandoned resort town. But they had snow, and I didn't really want to drag the kids through that, so we didn't go this time. But we will go sometime this summer and go do that. So
yeah, it looks beautiful down there.
Well, Thomas, it is about time to wrap up the show. Do you got any final thoughts?
No, I was just I'm very thankful. I appreciate you having me on. I know it's been a few months since I reached out to you and asked, and my birthday's coming up, so I'm going to be asking for a piece of your equipment for my birthday. So that's next month. Yeah, that's
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. No, again, I appreciate it. Good luck at your Paracon this coming weekend, and
Thank you.
I look to see more from you. I can't wait to see more from you. Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Later this summer, I am going to be having a paranormal roundtable where we have a bunch of people. There's going to be like 10 paranormal teams and stuff that are going to be in it. And Thomas, I want you to be part of that because I think you'll be a good mix. So
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on and reaching out. You know, when you reached out to me like, "Hey, can I be on your show?" I'm like, "Really? Am I I'm such a new show. Like I've been asking people to, come on, but when people message me, it's just like I must be doing something right." And like the other day, I had this. It's called The Other Side. It's a show on Amazon Prime. It just started on Amazon Prime. They reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to be on your podcast." And I'm like,
"Yes."
What?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
I'm like, you're the famous ones, not me. I should be asking you guys to come on my show, not the other way around. So I don't know. I'm just excited. I don't know. It's going to be a good year. But Thomas, thank you again for coming on. Thank you, everyone. What is your contact info? I don't see it on your YouTube info. You can find me, The Sharp Side of Paranormal, on Facebook. Or the Sharp Side of Paranormal.com. Yeah, Thomas, real quick, where can they find you?
Thomas Donahue on Facebook. That's the easiest way to find me. And yeah, I don't have that much of a social media presence because I don't do this for clicks or likes or anything like that. But yeah, I work with the Ghost Finders. I'm a Hinsdale House store ambassador. So yeah, you can find me commenting and promoting those guys. And yeah, Thomas Donahue on Facebook, really. So
yeah, so you can go to the Sharp Side of Paranormal Facebook, and you'll see Thomas. He's commented on quite a few of my things. So you can find him that way, or you can go to
send me a friend request. I accept everybody. Build my network.
Well, then I think I'm going to friend request you after the show if I haven't already done it. I have been to Hinsdale. I would like to go to Hinsdale. It's on my list of things. But y'all, thank you again for tuning in, and you guys all have a good night.
Thank you again. Good night, everybody.